Well, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, and we've made it to July 1st. And Clint tells me this morning that it's Canada Day. So happy Canada Day to our friends up north. Today we are going to finish the 23rd chapter of the book of Acts. We are going to be looking at verses 23 to 35 today. So Paul has been, of course, is being held by the tribune, and after being from the whole thing with the mess in the temple and his speech on the temple steps, and then yesterday the tribune found out from Paul's nephew about this plot by the Jewish leaders to have Paul assassinated. That this group of men have taken 40 or more, this is at least 40. Have taken an oath not to eat or drink until they've killed Paul. So you've got a group of assassins, over 36 people out there ready to hunt down and kill Paul. And they are trying this sham of asking the tribune to bring him before them, and on the way, leaving from the garrison to go to where the Sanhedrin would be meeting, they are planning to ambush him. So the tribune has gotten word of that, and he has other ideas. He's not about to play into their hand, as they would say. So that's where we're at, starting up in verse 23 in chapter 23 of the book of Acts. And let's look at 23 to 35. Then he summoned 2 of the centurions and said, "Get ready to leave by 9 o'clock tonight for Caesarea, with 200 soldiers, 70 horsemen, and 200 spearmen. Also provide mounts for Paul to ride and take him safely to Felix, the governor." He wrote a letter to this effect. "Claudius Lysias, to his Excellency, the governor Felix, greetings. This man was seized by the Jews and was about to be killed by them. But when I had learned that he was a Roman citizen, I came with the guard and rescued him, since I wanted to know the charge for which they accused him. I had him brought to their council. I found that he was accused concerning questions of their law, but was charged with nothing deserving death or imprisonment. When I was informed that there would be a plot against the man, I sent him to you at once, ordering his accusers also to state before you what they have against him." So the soldiers, according to their instructions, took Paul and brought him during the night to Antipateris. The next day they let the horsemen go on with him while they returned to the barracks. When they came to Caesarea and delivered the letter to the governor, they presented Paul also before him. On reading the letter, he asked what province he belonged to, and when he learned that he was from Cilicia, he said, "I will give you a hearing when your accusers arrive." Then he ordered that he be kept under guard in Herod's headquarters. Okay. Claudius has sent 10 to 11 times the number of men to guard Paul, as they have been taking this vow to assassinate him. And of course, they're going to be caught unaware of the actions here to send him out of town, so they're not prepared for that, these assassins. So hopefully they're going to get a head start on him. Plus, they're leaving at an unusual time. They're leaving at 9 at night rather than leaving in the morning, which would have been more of a normal thing for a day's journey to head out, leaving in the cloak of darkness, as they say. And so he has sent 200 soldiers, 70 horsemen, and 200 spearmen. That's 470 men riding with Paul. And he's provided horses, not horse, but horses for Paul. So the plan is that they're going to march out. These 400 men would be on foot. They're going to march out as fast as they can, and they're going to get him to Antipateris. And from there, the horsemen are going to take off. And I'm going to guess, since they have multiple horses for Paul, they're planning on moving at a fairly good clip. So they're going to quickly outdistance those 40 guys, even if those guys are giving chase to them. And 40 guys would have a hard time catching up, because to set up an ambush, you don't want to ambush from behind, you want to ambush from the sides or in front. You're going to have a hard time catching up, establishing an ambush, and all of that. So they pretty well have protected Paul with this maneuver, or this action that they've taken here. And of course, the point here is, to me, is that they had ill intent. They had an overreaction by sending these 40 men, overreacting to Paul's actions. And here God has provided an overwhelming response to their, if you are going to send 40 men against my chosen person, my disciple, then I'm going to raise up 470 to protect him, to keep him safe, to deliver him on this mission, because I need him to go and to witness to these officials. So God's going to use him towards that end. One of the interesting things that I see here in verse 30, when I was informed, this is Claudius talking, the tribune. When I was informed that there would be a plot against the man, he's sending him on to Felix. The interesting thing is there's no mention of, and when they get here, let's talk to those guys about what's up with this, getting 40 guys to swear an oath to kill this guy. What's up with that? That seems a little bit, why? One wonders whether there was any pushback from that, or if because of whatever political reasons, excuse me, Claudius just had to let that go. One of the interesting things also in that verse is Claudius kind of bends the truth a little himself, doesn't he? This man was seized by the Jews and was about to be killed by them. But when I learned that he was a Roman citizen, I came with the guard and rescued him. He'd already pulled Paul out of the crowd before he knew he was a Roman citizen. In fact, he had ordered him to be beaten before he found out he was a Roman citizen. So that sequence of events there is not exactly properly represented. So that's interesting. Some of this, and this brings some people to believe that this whole thing of him protecting Paul is covering his own hiney, to make up for the fact that he almost beat a Roman citizen, which was a pretty serious thing to do, and could have gotten him into considerable trouble had it gone on and had it occurred. So some think that this is merely him. The whole thing of this of building Paul up is so that Paul doesn't bring up, oh, and by the way, they almost beat me as a Roman citizen. They tied me up without charges. So there's that element to it too. But I would rather focus on what is going on with God in this and not the people, and that is that God is protecting Paul through even with people that are not either Christian or Jewish. He's protecting him with pagan people, and God can use whoever God wants to do God's work. Remember that it isn't just going to be the faithful that God will use to do God's work. God will use whoever he chooses to use. So let him choose to use you today. So with that, we're done for today. We will jump into chapter 24 tomorrow and see what's going on with Paul from there. So have a very blessed day, and as always, please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. And we'll talk to y'all tomorrow morning. Oh, don't forget, tonight is Thursday. I almost forgot myself. And so we do have drive-through communion tonight if you want to come to that. And we also, at 7, I'll come back on and put up a video for y'all to enjoy. A little bit of an extra message on Thursday night. Take care. We'll talk to you, either see you at drive-through communion, or maybe at 7 o'clock tonight, or tomorrow morning at 9. God bless. Bye-bye.